I'm just here going on and on talking. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I guess I'll have to start again. I was saying I was giving Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all the places a chance to tell the people that we were live. So let's start again. They still got time to tell everybody that we're live. Hopefully, this the sound is working better now, and folks can actually hear me. I was talking. Y'all saw my mouth moving. Y'all saw my mouth moving. Hey, Shanna. Hey, Sandrika. Hey, Janae. Hey, Jamie. And hey, Tanya. Basically, y'all saw my mouth moving. I was talking about last week. We had interesting things happening during the week, and the first thing of which was last Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Biden announced that he was not going to run for president. He was stepping out of the presidential race. I thought personally that that would cause the market to kind of go bananas. I thought it would go bananas in a negative way. Turned out this was Monday. This green candle right here was Monday. So it didn't quite go quote unquote bananas. It went on up from there. On Monday, we had probably one of the we had two up days last week. This was one of them. So Monday we had a nice green day. We had a total of 59 points, of run up of greenness that day. And then on Tuesday, market said, nope, we're okay. We've given enough. We've given all we can give. There was a pop up to the high of 55.85, right, knocking on the door of 5,600, and it knocked. The door wasn't answered, so it came on back. Skipped over this big old gap down for Wednesday morning, and I'm trying to remember. We never really got clear on what was the thing that caused it to gap down on Wednesday morning. Did we ever? I don't think we ever really got real clear, except for the fact that Google and Tesla had earnings on Tuesday afternoon. And even though Google didn't have bad earnings, it was a Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning, Google didn't have bad earnings, and it still like plummeted, and it took all the tech with it. So Google plummeted, took tech with it. This was a mighty red day. It had a little bit of a top wick, which meant there was very little buying pressure. Skipped over this huge gap that's still here and going to wait to be filled. Hopefully this week it will get filled. And I say hopefully because, nature abhors a vacuum. So this gap is going to need to be filled. Price seems to be trying to come back towards it. We'll see what happens, right? Then this was Wednesday, dropped down into a previous gap. This was a gap that came back from, what's this, June? Yep, June 11th. There was a gap between June 11th and June the 12th, created this gap. Price came down into the 50% mark. You all have heard me talk before when I put on this little 4C that usually each of these levels, 25, 50, 75, and 100, looks like it came right down to the 50% mark and decided we get filled enough of this gap. We'll come back later, We'll come back and see what happens later. So there's still some more of this gap that remains to be filled. It popped on up a little, left a little gap down here below it. Let me put it on our chart. Left a little bit of a gap here. Okay, so this was the full gap of what, I like to mark the full gap just so we know what just so we know what was the gap. And then I usually put another layer over that so that way we know what still remains to be filled, because at this point it's not all filled. Okay, let me see if I can get it to act right. There we go. That little bit there is still, the darker part is still not filled. Okay, that little bit is still gonna be waiting for its turn. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's just a little bitty bit there. It's not real easy to see, but there's a little bitty bit there. Maybe if I stretch it out, you can see a little bit better. This part here is the darker piece that still remains to be filled. And then on Friday, we had a green day. Friday, the market ran up and up. Oh my goodness, the high on Friday was the high on Friday, yes, was 488. So we're 54.80. Are we still? Yeah, 54.88. It's like, are we still on SPX? 54.88. And it actually closed at 54.59. Looks like 54.59 is where it closed. All right, so that was the week for SPX last week. Of course, SPY would have looked the similar. Triple Q is going to have a very similar looking chart just because of the fact that, SPX is pretty tech heavy. That's going to, give you a similar look. If you can see here, there was a green, 3 reds, a big old gap that was left here. And then there was green on Friday. Now, the green on Friday was nowhere near as huge as the green on SPX, but it was there nonetheless. This is more doji-ish. Triple Q has left us with let's see what happens next, because this is a clear doji and it does not indicate which direction. If you're a stratter like me, this is a 1 candle. Basically says it can, going up would be, let me see if I can put a little line on it. Going up of anything above this, the top of this can be calls and going in the upwards direction. And this top is 465 and 50. Oh, yeah, this is 465. We're talking about triple Q. And anything below the bottom of it could be for puts. And the bottom of this is 459.77. Calls above this candle, puts below this candle. For those who are buying and going in one direction, this 1 candle is basically between the top and the bottom of the previous candle. Let you know this is a 1 candle is an actionable candle. Basically, if it goes up, you go up with it. If it goes down, you can go down with it. Okay, what a difference a week makes. Absolutely. A huge difference a week makes. All right, let's go look at IWM, because while the market was falling apart, IWM was like, we're not for that. But when the market was running up previously, IWM was like, we're not for that. So IWM wasn't really doing much. When everything was falling off the bone, IWM was kind of hanging. And I feel like there's been like some transfer of money. The money that was sitting in maybe into tech was going into other places, is now being transferred over into the small cap. Maybe more of all the other stocks that really are worth trading. We could go over in there and see. This was a gap that was created back between July the 15th and July the 16th. And through the course of trades last week, this whole gap got filled. So that gap had been waiting around, and now it is no longer waiting around. It's done and filled. There is still a gap below here, which is down. The gap starts at like 214 and goes down as far as 213 and some change. And now there's a gap above Thursday's price that got left after a jump up or a gap up happened. This is IWM. Now, IWM has been notorious. We've used credit spreads on IWM, and Iron Condors was perfect on IWM. Next thing you know, IWM was up and moving, and you're like, buddy, right? This was IWM, all the moves that it was doing from July the 10th all the way up to July the 16th, and then it started to consolidate again. What it will do next, we can only see, right? Is at resistance 5. It's basically at the pivot point of the top resistance of all of them. And it's like, let's see what happens next. It's got a little bit of a gap to fill. Below it, we closed on Friday at 224.22. All right. That was SPX, IWM, DIA we can take a look at. Come on. DIA is the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones left a big old gap underneath it between Thursday and Friday. The price hopefully will come back. When I say hopefully, it will come back and fill. This gap that was here between Tuesday and Wednesday got filled with Friday's price action. So we can take it off now because it's over now. It's over now. And this one up here also got filled with Friday's price action. This wick up here closed that one off. So that one is filled as well. Now there's a gap below. And then we do have resistance at, what's this, 409? Is that first one. In addition, we have some up here at 411. I don't think I knew that DIA was in the 4s. There's a gap down here that's going to need filling. Let's go see if we can. I always say this. I used to never look at gaps. They just never caught my eye. And now it's like the gap is almost the first thing I see when I enter. Hey Abra, hey Lorenzo, how y'all doing? Like the first thing I see, right? All right, let's go and check out earnings for this week. That's what's talking about what happened last week. Let's go and talk about earnings for this week. Lots of earnings. We are still in earnings season. So just know we are still in earnings season. Yes, it is Gap City, and people trade gaps as a whole strategy, right? So I think you ought to be, we have to be mindful of them, but people trade gaps as a whole and entire strategy. Okay, so tomorrow morning, we're going to have McDonald's on Semi Phillips. Looks like Bank of Maria. I'm not sure what that says right there. CNA, Oil States, Provident, Bank of Hope, and Civista. Never heard of Civista. Monday after market closes, Tilray, Sprouts, Symbotic, F5 or 5 below, Lattice, Element Solutions, Rambus, SBA, Beyond, and Corcept. Tuesday morning, SoFi, love of mine. Yes, SoFi. I haven't been as in love with SoFi as I previously was. SoFi has just been kind of lagging. And I realize it's got a huge set of headwinds and they're having to fight through all the muckety mucks. But I really want SoFi to come on. Maybe it'll have earnings and it'll pop up like it's supposed to and go on about its way. I still believe in SoFi. I still believe in them as a fintech. I just want somebody to get out their way so they can go on and go. So there'll probably be a time a year from now where I'll be referencing this conversation and be like, y'all remember when I was on the call talking about SoFi couldn't get going? And now look at them. I'll be saying that because I still believe SoFi is going to make a good move. It's one of the ones to watch. I believe that. Okay. PayPal is going to be Tuesday morning. Be PayPal. Pfizer coming Tuesday morning. BP, Procter & Gamble, Leidos, Merck. I'm not sure who these people are. Corning and JetBlue is going to be Tuesday morning. And Tuesday after market closes, AMD. Now, I'm a fan of AMD. I like Taiwan Semiconductors more, but I am a fan of AMD. They have earnings Tuesday morning. Microsoft is also Tuesday after. Not AMD is not in the morning. It's after market on Tuesday. Microsoft after market. Starbucks, Arista, Pinterest, First Solar is there. Caesars, Lemonade, what's that? Electronic Art, and Gen X is Tuesday after market close. Wednesday before market opens is Boeing. Somehow I felt like Boeing just had earnings. Like, are these earnings? I mean, I know the seasons come every quarter, but this seemed like it was not long ago. Boeing is going to be Wednesday morning. Norwegian, Wingstop, Kraft Heinz, Altria, Samico or Comico, Generac, the generator people, Humana, Tiva, and MasterCard. MasterCard is going to be Wednesday before market opens. On Wednesday after close, Meta is having earnings. Wow. Meta has had a lot of little headwinds itself here in the recent past. ARM is there. Qualcomm, Carvana has earnings. Lam, Western Digital, Riot has earnings. Paycom, Albemarle, and Agnico Eagle. Never heard of them. Thursday morning, yep, Moderna, Canadian Natural, Crocs, ConocoPhillips, Mobileye, Wayfair, SiriusXM, Toyota, Canada Good maybe, and Eaton has earnings on Thursday morning. Thursday after market closes, Amazon. Amazon's having earnings. We thought Amazon was going to pop the other week with Prime. They did not. There was no popping that popped. It was nothing, right? Apple is going to be Thursday after close. Intel, maybe INTC will come on and do its doggone thing. Coinbase, DraftKings, Roku, Block or Square, Marathon, all the crypto names seem to be popping in here. Snap and Mercado Libre. Friday morning, we got Exxon Mobil. I think Exxon is on our list. I'm going to show our list soon. I think Exxon is there, but you should be in and out of Exxon by Friday. Chevron, looks like this is Sundial. Sundial is the cannabis people. Brookfield, Frontier, Communications, Magna, Twist, Enbridge, ENB, Floor, and Plains. I was listening to the news earlier today, and it was talking about, it was this morning, I think, and they were talking about how in Florida, they're working on legalizing cannabis. So they're using Amendment 3 to legalize cannabis in Florida. And they're saying, and they said, not they're saying, they said it's like they've raised like $60 million. And the cannabis dispensaries are the major contributors to the support of this amendment to get it through and get it approved for the state of Florida. So I was telling my husband, I was like, well, of course, they're the ones that are, helping to finance it. I had a friend of mine who had cancer and she passed away, God rest her soul. But I went one time with her to the cannabis dispensary and oh my, it's a completely cash business. That right there, of course, got my eye. I was like, can y'all pay insurance in here? And they were like, no insurance is taken in here. So in the parking lot, there was all these late model vehicles and the place was loaded with folks who was coming in there with their little baggies and cash only. I was like, of course the cannabis people can be the ones who can help finance this. They are straight cash business. I won't even talk about whether or not people pay all the taxes on their cash like they're supposed to. That won't be the discussion right now. I won't go there. Okay. April, I said hi to you. Janae, BA just stays in the news all year round. Yep, Boeing is just struggling. Basically, they're struggling. Delta is in the news too, because Delta, everybody else has recovered from the little thingy from the CrowdStrike thing, and Delta still got people sitting around the world in airports. Are you serious? First of all, if I was supposed to go somewhere a week ago, you wouldn't catch me still in no airport. Period. Period, poo. I'd be done figured out, and this is not good grammar. I know that. I would have, there we go, better grammar. I would have figured out a way to get home by now, and it would not have been waiting for Delta. Okay. I'd have been in a car. Even if we took and drove a little bit every day, you'd have been home by now. Of course, now if you're going across the water, something you can't take in a car or whatever, or another airline, Delta would have been missing me. I'd have been like, shh. The guy was on the news this morning talking about the rights that you get as a person, as a passenger on a plane with all these issues. If you're on an airline that they, you have rights basically. And I was like, okay. Anyway, that was Delta. We were talking about Boeing. Hey Ward, how you doing? If Intel don't pop, they better give back their money. Well, Intel's like, we're still working on it. We're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can. That's what we're doing, the best that we can. All right. So last week, we're going to clap it up. Last week, we had an 80% win rate, 8 out of 9 profitable trades on our list. We had 9 suggested trades last week, and 8 out of 9 of those were completely 100% profitable. The only one that didn't do well was the put credit spread side of Disney. If you were a call credit spread side, which the way Disney's been falling, may or may not have done an iron condor anyway, but it did fall in the neutral category on the 15-day moving average. So that's why it ended up on the iron condor list. But this was on the iron condor list on the it was on the moderately risky. It wasn't on the lower risk area because there wasn't any that was there. Yeah, I do. And we'll look at it again, but it's the same strikes because they're the same. I looked again today to make sure. Anyway, 8 out of 9 profitable trades. All of these were profitable except the bottom of that Disney trade. And yeah. So now we can move on to, let me see, do I have our next, what do I have next on the next slide? There we go. This is this week's trade. All I did this week, I only did the lower risk area, which was only at the top. And I did not go there was like 5 iron condors or in the neutrals, 5 neutrals in the moderately risky. I did not add them to the list. I did not add them. I said we would stick with our one side because first of all, I don't want people to be getting breached. I don't want that to be a thing. And the trending side seems to be, we've had success with those iron condors. My win weight be winning. My win weight be winning. I agree. But I didn't want to go into the moderately risky and then have issues. So let me see where I'm at. Use peakbot.com/watchlist. So I don't want that, right? So I decided to leave off the moderately risky ones that were on the watch list. I will pull it up. If you decide that there's something that you're interested in, actually go. I can share my screen so we can look at the watch list. I do see now that there's one bearish on here that wasn't on here this morning. Hello, that wasn't on here this morning. And maybe we could add it. Let's see about it. All these are bullish. What I have 6 or 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I believe I have 7 on my list. The only one that showed up here was Coca-Cola is on the bearish list. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come back. Coca-Cola's on the bearish list. I don't know if that's enough for me to update the list and republish it to all the places that it gets published. But if there's interest in Coca-Cola, I don't know if Coca-Cola provides really good premiums. Has anybody ever traded Coca-Cola and gotten good premiums? Can you fill in? I mean, what are we doing? Has anybody traded Coca-Cola and gotten good premiums? I know it's a big dividend one, so it's not necessarily one that moves a lot because of that. But they had earnings. Coca-Cola had earnings last week, right? I'm assuming this is going to fill in at some point. I don't know what's taking it so long. But listen, if a win rate above 67, above 70%, we're going to take that and we're going to run it. We're going to run it and run it to the bank. So all I want to say is we can put stuff on here and we can trade these credit spreads, right? Lorenzo said, I've only had it as buy and hold. Okay, that's for Coca-Cola. I don't know what's going on with this watch list. But we're gonna need to move forward because I need you to just come on and come on with the come on, or we're gonna be on to the next thing. Either way, let's go back to our list while that figures out what it wants to do. Our 7 that we had on here, we've got Kroger, we got Oracle, TJ Maxx, Tyson, Wells Fargo, and Exxon. Again, Exxon has earnings on Friday. So if you're going to trade Exxon, if you're going to get into it, you need to make sure that you're ready to be gone by Friday. All right. And I feel like I did Exxon. And I think I was on the call. I don't know if you all, I try to put the links in there. Peakbot has a live call on Mondays where they live trade, and they have one on Fridays where they enter trades for the coming week, and it happens around 12. I'm gonna make sure I always retweet. I always retweet it in Twitter. I always retweet it, but I don't always put the link into my socials. So I made to start doing that because I think that's something that we can watch the guys as they talk about which stocks they want to look at, things that are on the watch list, what are they going to trade, and the strikes they're picking, and that kind of thing. I think it would be good to watch that. Anyway, on Friday, they were on the call, and I was listening as well. I was on there watching and listening, and actually, they were getting ready to trade AMD, and because AMD on their watch list had a different date than I said, and then I was like, no, AMD's having earnings on Tuesday. You getting that trade, you're gonna have a problem. So, I mean, potentially you could work out, but then it could not. So, but then I was going to do Exxon, and they were like, Exxon has earnings on Friday. And I was like, yeah, but by Friday, your girl will be gone by Friday. Believe it, I'll be gone. Anyway, Coca-Cola is bearish on the bearish list of these on the watch list here. It's bearish. If you want to look at some neutrals, the neutrals are Oxy, Google, Baba, and Cisco. Notice it says moderate. This is the moderate risk. And I really try to suggest things that are in the lower risk area. There's plenty plenty of money up here in the green. We don't have to get into the moderate risk or the risky risk, because down here, Riot, Carnival Cruise Line, Newmont, Amazon, see those, all these down in the red. They down in the red, right? And there's no reason. We don't have to go Micron Technology. You don't have to go down there unless you just want to. I mean, you, of course you can. You're the CEO of your own portfolio. But I'm saying that there's plenty of opportunity. This is seven different trades up here at the top that you can choose from. And if you really if you want to, do one of each, go right ahead. Or if you want to pick one or two and go in a little, with multiple contracts, there's more than enough up here for you to make good premiums for the week. Okay. So you don't have to go any lower unless you just absolutely want to. Jamie says Coca-Cola doesn't move a lot in terms of ATR. I've never seen decent premiums with them. I have not either. It looks like here, if you used, they did a 66.64 on a put credit spread. So a $200 of collateral, and you're going to pull in $14. That's less than our 10% threshold. If I'm putting up $100, I want at least 10. If I'm putting up $200, I want at least 20 in premiums that I'm going to most likely get to keep, not just get to enter and don't get to keep them. I want to keep mine. Okay. I want to keep them. All right. Let's go look at some of these stocks. Let's go look at some of these. Which ones do we want to see? Do we want to see? I don't know if I have time to see them all, but we can see. I want to make sure I look at Oracle because Janae asked about the strikes. Right? Anything else on here that is of interest? I went into TJ Maxx today, not necessarily. Their line was too long. I almost made a post and said to come into a store and the line is all wrapped around getting ready to pay. I'm not interested. The line will make you change your mind. Because there's nothing in here I want enough to stand in this line. Nothing. Then my husband's like, you need to come on in, because the longer you look, you're going to find something and you're going to be like, but I might won't. No, not with this line. We can do them all. Just one back. What is just one back, though? What does that mean? What does just one back, though, mean? 63. Okay, I write down the number so that way I don't have to just one bank. Oh, just one bank. Okay. You're like, you just do one bank. TJ Maxx is 109. And you want Wells Fargo or you want the other one? Wells Fargo, they're both about the same price. So that means the premium should probably be about the same. 2, 4, 6. I left one off. Oh, Tyson. I don't think Tyson had any great premiums either. I didn't remember Tyson having any great premiums. I kind of want to start up, and I think I will. It's going to take us a minute to get there. So while it's trying to open up, I will. Did I pick stop screen? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. While Thinkorswim is opening up, yesterday we did our credit spreads masterclass. The credit spread masterclass was whoop whoop. I felt like it was really good, and I really hope the people, I believe, and I hope the people who were there really got a lot of great value. Of course, they said they got great value. I believed it when they said it because I believe I delivered great value. So that was yesterday. If you want to have access to the credit spreads masterclass, you still can, right? Credit spreads masterclass. You can still have access to that information at http://educator2trader.com. You can still have access to that. It was good. If I say so myself, if I was learning it, I'd be like, well, this was good. I felt like it was good. I really do feel like it was good. So that was yesterday. I think Thinkorswim is trying to open. Yeah, it is. Okay. So again, you can always go and check out, you can go and check out it's the replay, but it's the recording. Let's say the recording, not the replay. If you were in the class, your replay link was sent to you in an email. So you have replay link there. If you were not in the class and you want to to go ahead and avail yourself to the information. You're free. Oh, Royal Diadem said awesome class. Yay! I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. Wow, Thinkorswim is still opening. I'm going to move on through the slides. Okay. I have, let me see what comes up next. I forgot what I put in order. Oh, here we go. E2T free resources. E2T freebies is where you can go. The E2T freebies. Let me go and switch the screen. Okay. The E2T freebies. If you're looking for all the things that, let me see, free resources at e2t-freebies.com. I don't really talk about this often enough. I don't talk about this page often enough, but I should, right? You come to this, this page is basically where all of the stuff that, all of the free things that I offer are all here. I really should talk about this more often. You can get a free copy of the charting cheat sheet is here. You know, click on it. You got the chart your way to 100K or start with the chart free webinar. Of course, you've got the YouTube channel, 7 mistakes traders make to keep from making 7 figures. You got the 0 DTE cheat code. What's the best trading strategy for you? Options for beginners. If you're, somebody who's brand new and need a quick start guide, there's that. Educator to Trader website, E2T membership, the 5 hacks for trading SPX is there. I feel like there's more underneath here. And then you can, if you want to join the Telegram trading group, you can do that by filling in your email and stuff here. But all of this stuff is the freebies. We don't talk about this often enough, but it's all in one place. I had somebody to put it together, to put it all in one place, so that I do need to put her on a mug, so that you can come to one spot. I want to make sure I always have it scrolling, but I don't always go through this. And I'm going to start doing that more often, just so you know. Be prepared. I will be going through it more often. Okay. Yes, I will. Because I want people to be able to get access to the free stuff, to the free. I will go down to that young lady and grab her and put her on something, because y'all see I'm back in my creating stage. Some of y'all just joined me I used to create a lot of stuff all the time. Some of you all just joined me. So you didn't know that side of the educator to trader, but creativity is another aspect of the multifaceted mind of Arlissa. And so this ain't always a good thing, right? So I'm making it sound like it's a good thing, but the brain that's all over the place is not always a good thing. Y'all can ask Jamie. Don't ask him when I'm around, but ask him later if my brain being all over the place is a good thing. And it's not always a good thing. All right. I did want to mention that we are still using the alerts from Peakbot. We're still using the Peakbot alerts. And these are examples of what's going on with them. Now, the one I really like, well, I like them both, to be honest. I don't like one more than the other, I don't think. But this one up here includes the iron condors for all the indices. I do like the possibilities here. If on a trending market, sometimes these will get breached, and I'm not as much of a fan of that, believe me. But I also like the where we get the top 10 trend spreads. It basically gives you the stock, it gives you the strikes. I only really pick the sell leg of these strikes. I don't do the width of the spread the way they put it up. I just do the next one down. And I like that top 10. I usually go with that. You can get in on the oh, that didn't send. You can get in on the trends, the alerts for $5 a week. And if one trade gets you $5 extra because you got in on the right side, then it's worth the $5 a week, right? I know that it has paid for itself for me over and over. I'm just going to honestly tell you, I needed to put together how I've done it's definitely with the automated trading. I needed to put together how that has played itself out for me financially. Alerts. Let me put the link here. Use Peakbot Peakbot.com. Okay. The alerts are $5 a week. If you can, and you get to see both of these. Actually, there's a watch list here. It gives you the top 10, but if you select the watch list, it actually gives you the whole watch list and gives you strikes for everything that's there. So you don't have to just do the top 10. You have access to the entire watch list, and you can pick from there if you want. Totally up to you. Okay, looks like Thinkorswim is trying to get itself open while I continue to go on through, because it just takes a minute, especially when it's fighting with all the other things. Speaking of products and things, my creations, yes. I've been putting together some different products. These are, let me take myself off the screen so I'm not blocking the view. We've got tote bags, notebooks, or trader journals if you want to do that, coffee mugs, coasters, and this is a mouse pad. I think she is so cute. Oh my goodness. And then this is the trader girl who's going on a cruise. We've got that one there as well. Yes, it's definitely thinking. Then we've got this one here. Oh, I think I really like that. You know how you can't fall in love with your creations, but I think she's so cute. Oh my goodness. The coffee mug, the mouse pad, the notebook, coasters, and a bag. Yes, yes, and yes. Let me see if it's go. There we go. Let me type in my stuff so it can be steady moving forward. And then I've got several of these girls. I have to put them all on products and create them, but they're already created. The graphics are created, just have to be put on the products. But we locked in over here, right? This is for the girls who are locked in. So now I do have some guys stuff. I know the guys are like, where's our stuff? I do have some guys. I don't know if guys would be wanting their things, but let me go here, because this is all found in my Etsy shop. This is all found in my Etsy shop. I'll put it on the screen. You can go to bit.ly/MEL_INSP. bit.ly/Mel Inspirations. Come on, fill in. There we go. Let me change the screen so everybody can see what the shop looks like. Add to stage. I have one more picture to show. Come on. Working. It's working day and night. Are you showing the right screen? Come on. Can y'all see the shop? It says it's on the screen, but it's not showing on the screen. Here we go. Come on. There we go. There it is. There it is. This is my Etsy shop. I've had an Etsy shop since I started doing this. I did Etsy before I started becoming a trader. I was doing Etsy and creating Etsy products even way back then. But these are the things that are in the shop. In my shop, some of my newer creations are, of course, at the forefront. I created these mugs for us too. Sell high, buy low. That's what we do. We sell high and we buy low. Sell high, buy low. These are the four. Listen, I've fallen in love with the things because I love her. I love her. Oh, and Lady Trader, those eyes are so pretty. I love her. I've created these things and I'm all excited about them. Like, oh, you're so nice. You're so nice. Okay, so that's where I put the link. I put the link in the chat, right? If there's something you see that you like, go ahead and place an order and get you some. Get you some. Yeah. Okay. It'd be a good place to buy some gifts. Of course, you can buy things for yourself. I love buying things for myself. Nobody needs to treat me because I know how to treat me. I know how to treat me, even though it's always great to get gifts from other people. But if nobody don't, listen, I ain't got no problem gifting myself. I will gift myself. Yes, I will. Goodness gracious. Okay, this was the notebooks that I had on that other screen that was there. I think we might, Thinkorswim is almost up. It's almost ready. Almost ready. Okay, let's go to the first one that we see here. We'll start with Oracle. Let me go to I'll take you down. Yeah. Okay, we talked about the freebies. We talked about the Etsy shop, all the cute little things. If you have something you want designed, like if you want your name or something on, or you want something personalized, then let me know. If you want it to look a little different than what it is, then just let me know. We can create and design something for you, okay? You're like, I like this, but I'd rather have her say this or do that. We can do that. That's no problem at all. Okay, so we've got Oracle here. I think Thinkorswim is about open. I'm wanting it to be open so I can use the chart. I'd rather use the chart over there. But I need to, if it's up all the way, all the way. It needs to be up all the way. Okay, I think we're open. Come on, Cletai. I think it's ready to move. Maybe not. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. We're here. Daily chart. We've got Oracle. All righty. Basically, Oracle is right back where it was the last time we discussed it, which was, we talked about over the weekend, and the same support that we had then at 138.09 is virtually still the support for now. That's why our strikes are virtually the same, because it's basically at the same place that it was before. It kind of did a bit of a round trip, as they call it. Come on, did a round trip, as they call it. It came down, went on up. It went up and hit some. We can move the resistance. Went up and filled that gap. We had talked about this gap back here. It filled it up, and now we can take that off. And it's basically right back where it was the last time we were talking about Oracle. It's at the same place. Okay, so if we go look at trade and we look at our probability out of the money and all the things that help us guide our strikes, 78 probability out of the money is at 135. And I believe I have 134, 135 for Oracle. We turn the vertical, 134, 135. We select this. Let's see what kind of, it's going to pay $12 today. The market is closed, and I won't say that every time, but the market is closed. So at this point, it's showing $12. Of course, you need to see what the morning looks like when you get up and get running, when the market gets open or gets close to being open. Looks like it went oh, it's got a huge bid ask spread. Oh my goodness. Can y'all see this up here? The bid is 135 and the ask is 139. Why? Oh, why is the bid ask spread so wide? Anyway, that's going to make a difference, right? So, because that make a difference for getting in, not so much getting in, but definitely makes a bit of a difference getting out, right? So, you want to get the most premiums that you can, and you want to get out with the least amount of premiums that you can. All right, so keep that all in mind. That's Oracle, and that's why we selected 134, 135, because it's basically where it was the last time we looked. Okay, let's go to Exxon. Exxon has earnings on Friday, so keep that in mind if you're going to trade it. I am in an Exxon trade. I entered it with the plans of being gone by Friday. Not saying that you need to follow me, just letting you know that I'm there. Right? Exxon is on the puts credit spreads list 2 for 14. Okay, it has gone down and filled up this gap. It took a dip, filled up the gap. The gap here has been filled. The gap here has been filled. The gap here has been filled. If we look at our resting place, it's around this 115. I can actually move this up here, and that can stay there. I can put another line on there. Right in this area here where there was a rest, we can put a line in there. And if you want to see it on the line chart, we can always change this to a line, not that. You can change it to a line chart, and you can see right in here in the 115 area, there's a little bit of stoppage right here, actually at 115.14, and then 114.69. There's some support and resistance. I can actually put another line right here based on this peak back here in May and the peak on July the 3rd. All right, we can look at both of those and see that this is the 114.55 and 115. Both of those are support areas. 117.28 is kind of right here in that resistance spot right now because the current price is 117.33. So it's currently in a zone that may pull it back. So it may be, may want to be mindful of that. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do your put credit spread, but you see this is resistance. But you need to know that as it comes back and pulls back, that's where you can, possibly get higher premiums when it does that. But it is coming into earnings. It's going to have earnings on Friday. Okay, let's look at what the numbers are. I have 113, 114. And if we're looking on here, 114, 79% probability out of the money for this strike. We change it to 113, 114. And we're looking at $17 today in premiums. $17 now in premiums. All right, that's not looking bad for Exxon. $17 for a one spread. Ding, ding, ding. All right. $17 for a one spread does not look bad. Just know whatever you're going to do, be ready to be gone before Friday morning. Don't be in that on Friday talking about, I forgot. No, y'all know we'll bring it up a couple more times, but, put a note or something on it to make sure you're gone by Friday. Don't by Thursday night, make sure you close it Thursday at close, that you make sure by then that it's closed. You don't want to leave it sitting there Friday morning for something to happen Friday morning. Your good trade goes south because you were trying to get a few more dollars. Don't do that. All right, we can look at Kroger or Kroger's, as the people who live nearby call it. People call Kroger's, Walmart's. No, I don't know why. I don't know. Okay, so 53.28, I see its support. I also see 52.97, 52.11. There's a gap here that's not all the way filled. So let me put that on. There was a gap from here to there. Okay, it hadn't been filled all the way. The part that has been filled is down to about 52, but the bottom of the gap is 51.90. So maybe 10 more cents. It's not like it's a lot, but it's still not filled. Even though it's not a lot, I want you to know that it's not filled. And when they're not filled, sometimes the price will decide they're ready to go for it. We're ready to go fill that before we go up. So it'll come down and grab some gasoline, some fuel, some liquidity, as they call it, and then it'll run from there. It'll go get gas and say, let me stop in the gas station first, and then I can go on from here. Y'all know how it goes. I want to go out of town, but I need to go get gas first. Yep, that's the same thing that stocks have to do. They have to go get gas first. So they'll stop at wherever that liquidity is and grab gas. Which up here, this long wick up here could be seen as liquidity, which is why maybe got this and came on down. It gapped down and then climbed up. So that happened Friday. That happened on Friday. Okay. What I see is the 53, 52 area, and the Kroger, we have 53 because there's two supports between where current price is at 54.27 and at 53. Another wide, maybe these bid-ask spreads are wide because it's on the weekend, but between 50 and 54.70 seem to be a pretty big spread. 53 has a probability out of the money of 80. 53 has a probability out of the money of 80. So let's change this to a vertical. 52.53 is paying $10. 52.53, paying $10. I'm not as excited about that as some of the others, but you know, you're the CEO of your own portfolio. You're the CEO of your own portfolio. Okay, let's go to, this is TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx and Ross, to me, are like Target and Walmart. TJ Maxx is like the Target, and Ross is like the Walmart. My view, my opinion. Anybody agree with me? I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. We're looking for put credit spreads, and I see 111 as support, and there's a whole bunch of consolidation back here at 110 in the 110 area, right? And for TJ Maxx, I have 109 as support. I have 109 as support based on the fact that there were between current price and there's at least two supports between here and 109. Two good ones, because this one here, price sat around in here for a while before it moved, and then it now is back a bit, right? So I've got 109 for TJ Maxx. Let's change over to the single screen. 109 has an 83% probability out of the money, 83%. So when we change to 108 to 109, that one's paying $9. Again, I'm not as in love with that because I like to get at least 10%, and I'm gonna want to keep the most of it. Lorenzo says, I've never thought of it that way, but that really makes sense. TJ Maxx is better, LOL. Sandrika says, I agree. Yeah, I feel like those are the, now I'm a Ross shopper. I'm also a Walmart shopper. I will go to both those, but I just feel like TJ Maxx puts you more in the feel. It puts you more in the feel of a Target. Wells Fargo. Okay, let's go to the chart. Look for some supports. You all know that credit spreads, it's very important that you have a good idea of the support and resistance and the trend. You don't have to get all super deep in, determining the different places. You can go, as depending on how long you're going to be in the trade, you definitely want to understand where your supports and resistance are and have a good feel about that, because we're looking for where price is not going. Okay, we want to have whatever confluences we need to make sure we know where price is not going. But definitely, okay, to be able to support and resistance, be able to find those things. If at the very minimum, you need to be able to find those things. There's a gap down here that has not been filled between 57 and 56 and some change. That gap has not been filled. This one has. This gap got filled over here. Okay. I'm gonna say it's pretty far down, but not necessarily. It's 56 and some change. I have 59 as Wells Fargo support, and that's based on this here. That's based on these candles from July 22nd. Current price of Wells Fargo is at 60.39. That's the current price of Wells Fargo. I feel like there's something else in the middle here. Let me change it to a line and see if I'm missing something. Yep, right in here. Let me get a price line. There we go. There's support right in here. There's a couple of them. Couple of peaks, peak, several places along here where there is. That's at 60 and some change, 59.60, somewhere in the middle, 59.69, sorry, and then 59.11. So that's several supports between current price and the support and the strikes we're picking for the trade. Go back to candles. There we go. Looking on the single option chain, 59, 76% out of the money, 76% probability out of the money. So 58.59, paying $14. That's looking better. That's looking better. 58.59 is looking better. $14. Maybe you close it for 3 or 4. That way you keep your 10%. Yep. And yep. Which was the best one we looked at so far? What's the one we like the best so far? Put in the chat which one you like the best so far. Looks like Tyson has a couple gaps. They're not big, but they are there nonetheless. Here's a gap here that will want to be filled. Again, very small, but there anyway. Another one is here. It's gapped up a couple times. That one's filled. That one's filled. These are filled. Let me see if there's anything else down here. Hopefully not way down here. Support is here at 59. I got Tyson for 59 also. A lot of wicks down in this area meant that there was sellers, but the buyers wouldn't let it be. This was a gap that got filled on July 17th. Okay. I've got 59 as the support for this trade. Just like it was the same as Wells Fargo. Somebody sent me a message and was like, they have the same spread. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, I mean, they're around the same price. Anyway, 59 has an 86% probability out of the money again. So we'll go with 59, 58, 59 again. Different stock, but 58, 59. It shows here at $0, but it's paying $5. It's going to need to do better than this. I think Tyson, from what we've seen before, Tyson didn't really have good premiums. Is Tyson a dividend stock? Do y'all know if Tyson is a dividend stock? Black Beauty's Machine says she liked TJ Maxx the best. There we go. That's Tyson. I think of the ones, I don't remember which premiums were what, but I told y'all I was in Exxon. TJ Maxx, I think, was the one that had, which one had $17? If I'm going to do a one spread, I want to get the most out of my one spread. That's me. Where I want to get the most out of my one spread. Was TJ Maxx it? TJ Maxx was at 108, 109. No, that wasn't the one. It might have been either Kroger or Exxon. I feel like it was higher at the top. Kroger. Even though I asked you what did you like the best, I didn't, ask myself what I like the best. Not Kroger. I think it might have been Exxon. One thing I want to caution you, though, when you're doing, if you decide you want to do Exxon, because it is earnings, we've got what, 113, 114, because it is earnings, that's the one that's $17. The premiums won't draw up as fast as a regular week, and that's because the IV is going to be high. So while the implied volatility is high, it's not going to draw down at the same rate as it would, in any other. Remember, I told y'all about, what was I in? Was it Carvana? I was in somebody. I had gotten into a credit spread, but it was mistakenly the stock had earnings that week. It was last week I did that. NEE, might have been NEE, and the price and the premiums weren't drawing up, and that's because of the fact that it was in earnings week and the implied volatility was high. So if you're going to trade Exxon, you want to keep that in mind. If you take in 17, it's not going to draw down fast unless the price moves in a good little clip away from it. That's going to give you a better situation from that standpoint. Okay. I have covered all 7 of the stocks that we have on our list. I've covered them all. Anything else we need to look at? Don't forget, we will be on tomorrow morning. We're always on in the morning at 8:30. We're on at 8:30. I feel like I had something else in here. I'm looking through the slides. That's why I'm looking down. I thought there was something else in there I wanted to share, but it's not looking like it. It's not looking like it, though. I think I covered everything I wanted to say. All right. So we went through Peakbot. We went through the trades for the week of our own, automated trading, and the alerts. We went through both of those. We looked at the freebies page. We've looked at all the stock pages, all the, we done our assessment. Oh, you know what we did not do? I did not do this, and I need to. We did not do the look at next week's meetings. We must do that so we'll know what's what. This went fast. Yeah, I didn't. I left some stuff off. I know something was. It's like I feel like I'm missing something. My list was a little shorter. All righty. So this is what's coming up next week as far as meetings and such. Monday, there's nothing on the list for Monday. There's nothing on the list for Monday at this point. Not here anyway. And Tuesday, 9 o'clock, we've got HPI. I think that's the housing price index, HPI month over month. CB consumer confidence is a red folder at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Job openings, 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Those are, they're red folders for a reason. Wednesday morning, we've got non-farm employment change, employment cost index, Chicago PMI, 945, pending home sales, 10 o'clock. Crude oil inventories, 10:30, federal funds rate 2, and FOMC statement. Ding, ding, ding. It's like one of these things is not like the other, even though this has they're both red folders. This FOMC statement will definitely be more weight than these up here. All right. That's happening Wednesday. This is where we'll find out whether or not there will be a rate hike or rate cut or rate whatever this time, or when. If it will be, when will it be? Okay, so that's happening on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. And then at 2:30, they have the press conference. The statement comes out at 2, press conference at 2:30. All right, so just know that's all on Wednesday. That brings in a lot of volatility, right? I have to remember that on Tuesday without getting into my my credit spreads maybe for Wednesday. I have to keep that in mind because that will make stuff run. And yeah. Anyway, Thursday, challenger job cuts at 7:30, unemployment at 8:30, preliminary non-farm productivity, unit labor costs, that's all 8:30, 9:45, orange folder, final manufacturing PMI, and manufacturing PMI. I think my graphic said PCE. Maybe that's happening on Friday. Anyway, ISM manufacturing prices, construction spending, total vehicle sales, natural gas. That's all on Thursday. And then Friday, we've got hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. It happens on Friday. All of that happens on Friday. So basically, the key things, there's a red folder every single day except for Monday. Monday's the only day there's no red folder because seems like there's nothing happening that day, but there's red folders every single day, right? I really want you all to be, to always be mindful of how do I want to say it? Remember, number one, that we're trading to make money. We're trading to make money. And I'm talking to me. I'm not just talking to y'all. That we're trading to make money. So we've got to have the discipline, and we've got to have the power over our own emotions to be able to exit trades that are benefiting us, and to trust our processes. Now, I have found that sometimes when things haven't gone your way and you don't have the full confidence, that will keep you from trusting in your process. But I will say that the credit spreads process is a solid one when we implement it fully. And again, I'm talking to me too. Okay, I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to me too. When we implement it fully, one person told me, it might have been TJ, the guy Friday, and TJ was like, if you believe in it, put your weight behind it. And I was like, well, yeah, that sounds great. He was like, no, you're gonna see more benefit from it when you put weight behind it. you gotta, you pick a stock. And sometimes because I go both ways on this. I'll say, well, pick 3 or 4 things, diversify your money. That way, if one doesn't go well, you all of it's not hurt and hit. And he's like, well, that's one way to look at it. But what if you took the money that you spread out and you put all that money in one place? And then you only had the one thing to watch. You would have taken the time on the front side to really study that one thing. And then you're going to be able to see a different level of returns on that one thing, because you're more focused on it. And I've gone both ways. I've thought about, you diversify. That way, if one, doesn't go, then yeah. But then, if you put all your stuff in one place, all your eggs in the one basket, but then that really forces you to then make sure that you're not overstretching your portfolio. That if you're going to, there's going to be a certain percentage that you're putting in different places. So you want to be wise about that as well. Think about it, pray about it, deal with your trading plan to see what it is you want to do. If you want to focus, there's a girl on Twitter who trades the strat only, and she trades it only on SPX. Now, according to what she posts, she seems to make a really, really good amount of money. But for me, I'm thinking, well, it would be good on one hand to focus only on one stock, but then it's like, what about all the other things that are going? What about the other things that I could really be trading too? Why put all my energy on one place when there could be more? I could be doing, more places. Anyway, it's something that each individual person has to decide for themselves, how they want to trade it and how they want to play it. So I want you to think about that as we finish out tonight and you go into tomorrow. Think about that. Do you, if you have a strategy that you trust, put your weight behind it. And if you have a stock that you're really trading and you're focusing on, put your weight behind that. When I say weight behind it, put, more than one, because I'm the one contract queen. I'll do one contract or something and be like, cool. But if I do one contract and I take in $50, like when I do my iron condors, if I just do one iron condor, I take in $50. What if I do 2? What if I do 3? This is a way that you can really maximize your returns. Black Beauty says stocks will trend better. I agree with that. That's, away from the ETFs, the SPY, the triple Qs and those things. If you're looking for trending things, the individual stock, because that really, then all you got to worry about the news for that stock. When you're doing SPY and SPX, you got to worry about the news, like on triple Q, you got to worry about the news that affects tech, which hits it completely. Like, well, if I was just doing Amazon, I wouldn't have maybe as much of a hit. But if I'm doing triple Q and all of tech is in there, then anything that happens in tech is going to affect it. If I'm doing Amazon, then something that's happening with the semis ain't necessarily going to affect Amazon. Not necessarily, it could, but y'all get my point. Okay. That's what I want you to think about, is putting your weight behind it. This means putting, a comfortable amount of your portfolio in a place where you can see the benefit. You can see the benefit of it. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to wrap up. I will see you all in the morning. Hasta mañana. Yes, 8:30 in the morning. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Put on the notification bell. Put the thumbs up if y'all like these videos. If you've got a video idea, something that you want me to create as a video, put that in my comments, or send me a message or something. Put it there so I can see, because I'm always looking for video ideas to create. Got to keep my editor busy. And I'm always looking for different stuff. Looking for different stuff to make videos about. I got all kinds of to make videos about. The problem is not what to make videos about. It's just me making the videos, okay? Just so you know, the problem is not a lack of content. It's just me doing the videos. All right. So I'm going to see you all in the morning. And I want us to do 2 things, as we always do. I want us to stay green, and I want us to get this money. All right. I'll see you all later. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Maybe it'll close, maybe it won't.